New Earth and fusion. So as we went deep into the New Earth codes and we start really working through within the webinar yesterday evening, today it's coming in very, very strong with the power of the full moon, is to bring up where there was fusion in the womb, fusion in our childhood. So, for example, if there's somebody in your childhood who's fighting, you as a child will fuse with that person. There's a fusion there. So there's an absorption with that energy of the fight in the system, fight or flight. So that absorption is there. And then that release is there. So you're fusing with somebody on the negative side, and then you're losing a piece of yourself into that system as well, into that person. So if that's the first imprints, as the first imprints are really important to work with, because they set us up for the rest of our lives. So if we got a strong fusion with an abuser, for example, in our childhood, or someone who's emotionally charged, we will have the information that if I'm around someone like that, I also will fuse with that energy field and absorb that energy field into my system, into my life. And I will lose a piece of me, which is codependency. And I'll lose my energy field. So often you go into a place and you feel like you're being absorbed by something, or something's absorbing you. Now, with the fusion on a cellular level, you're losing some of the power of the cells. It creates deadness, stagnation, and it creates split minds. So also there's a fusion on the split minds as well. So then we got these blind spots, or we're disassociated, or we have this frozen, paralyzed fields within us. So often you're talking with somebody and you feel they're not getting you, they're missing you, because they have fused with an energy of disassociation, which takes them out of their system. So they're not even aware of that blind spot. So this is what I want to focus on in today's webinar, is to unravel from this information of fusion and absorption of other people's toxicity, information, heaviness. So we come out of those fields. And when we come out of those fields, it means we left a piece of ourselves behind as well. So then we basically absorb back our own part. We accept back the wholeness of us, the wholeness of our being, which release deadness, stagnation from the cells. Now, when I'm working, it's getting more, I'm not saying much in the webinars, but it's getting very detailed. I'm getting very aware of where the topics are, where the fusion is in the system. So I'm sharing this information. The way I work is that whatever I've resolved in my own system, I can share that and I show that to your system. So your system knows how to do it itself. So I'm not entering your system or taking something from your system. What I'm doing is I'm showing you everything I've worked through and showing it to your system. So your system can become aware of the fusion which is in your system, and then you unravel from it yourself. That's the key. You unravel from it yourself. So then when you do that a few times, that's how I work, is that I make that my new routine, my new habit, that I'm aware of those systems, so I don't even go into fusion with those systems. And I'm aware that I'm dropping deeper and deeper and deeper into my systems. So in this evening's webinar, because of the fusion where the split minds are, we're going to drop deep, deep, deep through the levels of subconsciousness. There's not just one level of subconsciousness. You need to drop deeper and deeper and deeper. And as you dive deeper into the system, there's an unraveling from the split minds or the craziness or the bipolar, all these different energy fields, which you fused with as a child, or you fused with in your partner, or you fused with in a friend. So, or in the collective field. So this is what I'm going to be focusing with the power of the full moon, with the power of the new word codes, which is pure sacredness of your wholeness. So I'll be bringing up your wholeness and then showing yourself, showing your system how to do it yourself, how to do it yourself. So this will create the field of unraveling from those fused parts with somebody. And this is in the cells. This is really cellular work. And you come out of the fusion, and this comes out of your system, which leaves space. And then the space for your soul to come back into those parts. And then you get a wholeness feeling, spacious feeling, calmness. And this is the information of New Earth. This is where you can be whole without the programs, without the noise, without the static, that you flow in that ocean. If you imagine you're in the ocean of creation and then you fused with some, I don't know, fighting energy, for example, okay? You're going to have that information in the ocean, okay? That's in the ocean, in you, in your aura, in your mind, in the subconsciousness that you don't want to touch. So you stay racing, keep talking, keep disassociating, keep running. So these are the fields I want to work with this evening. I feel it's very important and we're ready to do it. And it's actually the way I'm working now, it's simply melting into these fields. I'm not saying much. It may look like I'm doing the same thing. It's not at all. It's always different and it's always going deeper. So this is bringing you back closer to yourself and also bringing the information into the cells. I want to set the intention that you get results in your life in the next days, in the next weeks, that it calms your system down. You go into these smoother energies of creation without the static, without the fusion of other energy fields. Because if we create with the fusion in our system, we're going to manifest it again. So let's do this together and unravel from where we absorbed, which is key, because then you have the information. That's my job, to absorb people's pain, absorb people's emotions, absorb toxicity, absorb destruction, and instead unravel from it. Go back into wholeness, go back into truth, go back and bring up your core foundation, your new earth field, which is completely clear of programs or fusion with those fields. If this resonates with you, the webinar, you can dive into the webinar, and there's one from yesterday, which was working very deeply with decoding the cells and dropping into you. So it's preparation for today's work. So yeah, I would highly, highly recommend where we're at the moment. It's the time. We can handle it. We can do it. And it's time to get results. It's time to be whole. It's time to create as a creator, a whole creator. It's time not to live from victimhood consciousness or separation or polarization. It's time to go back deep into who you are and becoming a creator and consciously unfusing from all, unraveling from all these systems. Have a beautiful day. Thank you. Thank you.